Now I've driven my fair share of cars, folks. But when Ferrari calls and says, "Jay, we've got something new, an SUV," well, you drop everything. This ain't your average grocery getter. This is the Purosangue, Ferrari's first foray into the world of four doors and cargo space. And believe me, it's a wild ride. We're talking a rumbling V12 engine, the kind that makes your hair stand on end, stuffed into a sleek, sculpted body. It's like they took a Roma, stretched it out and said, "Let's hit the dirt roads." Maybe. From the second I laid eyes on this thing, I knew it was going to be interesting. Now, I know what you're thinking. A Ferrari SUV? Have they gone soft? But trust me, this thing is pure Ferrari through and through. It's got that Italian flair, that need for speed that just oozes out of every pore. But, and this is a big but, it also tries to be practical. Stay with me, folks, because things are about to get interesting. Stepping inside the Purosangue is like entering a luxury Italian leather goods store. Seriously, if it ain't moving, it's covered in buttery soft leather. And the smell? Forget new car smell. This is new Ferrari smell. A potent mix of leather, high-tech, and a hint of gasoline. You got your big ol' infotainment screen, more buttons than a fighter jet, some of them touch-sensitive, which, hey, we'll get to that later, and enough space to comfortably seat four adults. Well, maybe not comfortably, but they'll fit. But here's the thing about all that luxury, sometimes it gets in its own way. Want to adjust the air conditioning? Be prepared to navigate a touchscreen menu. Seat warmers? Better hope you're a tech whiz. It's like they were so busy making it look pretty, they forgot that simple is often better. Now, let's talk about the heart of this beast. That glorious, naturally aspirated V12 engine. This ain't your eco-friendly hybrid, folks. This is 6.5 liters of pure, unadulterated Italian fury, pumping out 715 horsepower. And let me tell you, it sings a song that'll make your soul tremble. You step on the gas, and it's like you've unleashed a caged animal. The engine roars, the car surges forward, and you're pinned back in your seat, grinning like a fool. This thing is fast, scary fast. But it's not just about raw power, it's about the way that power is delivered, smooth and linear, like a perfectly thrown spiral. And the sound? Oh, the sound. It's a symphony of pops, crackles, and roars that'll make you want to drive with the windows down, even in a hurricane. Ferrari knows how to make an engine sing, and this one is a choir of angels. Or maybe devils. It's hard to tell when you're having that much fun. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the passengers in the back seat. While the Purosangue boasts 4 doors and a spacious cabin, don't expect a luxury limousine experience back there. The back seats, while stylish, are a bit, how do you say it, cramped, especially for us taller folks. It's clear that Ferrari prioritized the driver's experience, and hey, I can't fault them for that. But if you're planning on chauffeuring your friends around town, they'd better be good sports, or small, preferably both. And don't even think about bringing your luggage. The trunk space is, let's just say it's cozy. You can fit a set of golf clubs, maybe a weekend bag if you're a good packer, but forget about a Costco run. This ain't your mama's SUV. Section 5. Finding the sweet spot where SUV meets sports car. But here's the thing about the Purosangue that surprised me the most. It handles. And I don't mean it handles well for an SUV, I mean it handles like a proper sports car. Ferrari's engineers worked some kind of magic with this thing because it feels planted, agile, and downright nimble in the corners. You throw it into a bend and it just grips and goes. With minimal body roll. The steering is precise, the brakes are strong, and the whole experience is just exhilarating. It's almost like you forget you're driving an SUV. Almost. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to outhandle a 488 on the track. But for what it is, a 4-door, high-riding, do-it-all Ferrari, the Purosangue is a revelation. It proves that you can have your cake and eat it too, or at least, you can have your sports car and your SUV, and they can both wear the prancing horse badge with pride. Section 6. Digital dilemmas, a few too many touches. Now, I'm all for a little technology in my cars. But the Purosangue, well, it might be a tad over the top. Take the steering wheel, for example. Instead of regular buttons, you got these touch-sensitive pads. Want to adjust the volume? Good luck finding the right spot while you're flying down the road. And don't even get me started on the climate controls. Why they gotta hide those behind a touchscreen is beyond me. It's like they designed this thing in a spaceship and forgot that sometimes you just want a good old-fashioned knob to turn. Look, I appreciate the innovation, I do. But sometimes you gotta wonder if all these fancy features are really necessary. Give me a simple, driver-focused cockpit any day of the week. Less time fiddling with screens, more time enjoying that V12 symphony, that's what I'm talking about. Section 7. The price of exclusivity. A Ferrari for the few. Let's face it, folks, a Ferrari doesn't come cheap. And the Purosangue, well, let's just say you could buy a nice house for what this thing costs. We're talking a starting price that'll make your eyes water, and that's before you start adding options. And good luck getting your hands on one. Ferrari's keeping production numbers low, which means the Purosangue is going to be a rare bird indeed. If you see one in the wild, consider yourself lucky. But hey, that's part of the allure, right? The exclusivity, the prestige, the knowledge that you're driving something truly special. It's a Ferrari, after all. And in the world of high-end automobiles, that name still carries a lot of weight. Section 8. A bold leap. The Purosangue's place in Ferrari history. So what's the verdict on the Ferrari Purosangue? Is it a sports car in an SUV's clothing? A practical Ferrari? A sign of the apocalypse? Well, it's a little bit of all those things, to be honest. It's a bold move for Ferrari, no doubt about it. But it's also a necessary one. The SUV market is booming, and Ferrari would be foolish to ignore it. But instead of just slapping their badge on some generic SUV platform, they went and created something truly unique. The Purosangue is a Ferrari for a new generation. A Ferrari for people who want it all: performance, luxury, and yes, even practicality. It's a statement that Ferrari is evolving, adapting, and embracing the future. And you know what? I, for one, am excited to see where they go from here.